there a way to save more efficiently while deployed? Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat, and a while back, one of you asked for a video on how to prioritize investments while they're deployed. This includes things like the Thrift Savings Program contributions or the Saving Deposits Program, SGLI, and some other blended retirement system considerations. And as much as I like to figure out how systems work and make them work for me, there are some situations where there's just not much you can do to make the system give you an advantage. When it comes to investing as a military service member, I tend to be a set it and forget it kind of guy, constantly tinkering with your investment portfolio in order to gain small advantages. Well, that can be difficult at the best of times, and while you're deployed, it can be even more difficult. So, spoiler alert, deployment in and of itself probably is not going to change how you invest. That said, there are 3 important things that happen when you are deployed to a combat zone. Number 1, your SGLI is automatically maxed out. If you previously reduced or eliminated soldier group life insurance coverage, it's going to show back up on your LES for the full amount. And as far as I can tell, there is nothing you can do to prevent that while you're deployed. Now, SGLI is only $31 a month, and hostile fire pay is like $225 a month, so it's not like you're out a lot of money. But watch out for when you return from deployment. SGLI is supposed to return to the level it was before the deployment, but you know. The second thing that happens when you deploy to a combat zone is you become eligible for the Savings Deposit Program. The short version about how this program works is you can put up to $10,000 into an account that earns 10% a year. That sounds pretty cool until you start reading the fine print. You only become eligible for this program after you have been in the combat zone for 30 days. And then you can only deposit funds that you earned after those 30 days. So if you entered the combat zone on, say, April 1st, you have to wait at least until May 15th to make any contributions. And your contribution is limited to what you earned from May 1st to May 15th. You can't just put $10,000 into this account. Never mind the fact that to do this, you have to make a special trip to the finance office to start the process while you're deployed. And you have to turn off that allotment once you redeploy, or money keeps going into the account but not getting any interest. And if you deposit more than $10,000, you don't get any interest on that either. Plus, if you think about it, under the best circumstances, this program only pays you $1,000 a year. That's less than $100 a month. It seems like a lot of hoops to jump through for not particularly much money. Now, I will say that this is a decent program for somebody who is going to be deployed longer than 12 months. You just dump $8,000 to $10,000 into the program at the beginning of your deployment and let it cook. But if you're going on a short tour, I wouldn't really make the effort. The third thing that happens when you deploy to a combat zone is that the limit on your TSP contributions goes up. For 2024, it goes up from $23,000 to $69,000. Although, just as a warning, the way the IRS calculates the money against this limit changes when you're deployed, so it's not exactly an apples-to-apples comparison. But there's 2 reasons not to get really excited about this TSP limit thing. Number 1, an increase to the limit only matters if you were being constrained by the original limit. If you put less than $23,000 a year into your TSP, then the higher limit doesn't really matter. I mean, even in 06 with 30 years, if he's maxing out the TSP matching at 5%, he's only contributing $8,600 a year. So that 23K limit is only going to matter to you if you're already dumping a lot of money into TSP. Number two, the reason not to get particularly excited is that TSP contributions are always pre-tax. TSP is, by definition, a tax-deferred program. That's true regardless of whether you're deployed or not. That means that you deal with the taxes when you take money out of TSP. And yeah, you're not supposed to pay taxes on money that you contributed to TSP while you were deployed to a combat zone, but you got to deal with that decades after the fact. But what about a re-enlistment bonus or continuation pay? Obviously, you get more cash in your pocket if you earn them while you're deployed because, well, then they're tax-free. But that is true regardless of the thrift savings plan or the savings deposit program. As far as I can tell, the bottom line is that it is hard to squeeze real value out of these programs. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, and if you really want to make the most out of your investment planning, I suggest you talk to a professional. In fact, specifically talk to them about setting up a Roth IRA. And if you're a Reserve or National Guard member, bear in mind that one of the most valuable benefits of deployment is early retirement.